Hi, I'm Skylar.
And I'm Max.
During quarantine, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
It didn't take long for us to become completely obsessed with the show.
And one of the things we loved the most about the show were the brilliant end credits.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we'll go episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credit sequences.
We're excited to have you join us on the very first credit score spin-off, Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
Do you want to say it to start it off? You sure you don't want to?
I don't.
You have no desire to say...
I think it brings the conversation to a complete halt, and I don't want to say it.
I think it gets us going. Chip chipperoo! Everyone, welcome to Bob's Credits.
That's like an exclamation. And exclamations go at the end of something.
You can't... How do you start a podcast? You need an exclamation.
Okay.
Anyway.
Like, hello.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Okay.
So, chip chipperoo. Say it.
Chip chipperoo to you too.
We are Skylar.
And Max.
Skylar and Max and Baby Biscuit, our dog.
Yep.
We are your hosts of Bob's Credits, a journey through every single end credit sequence to every single episode of Bob's Burgers. And this week we are doing episode 4 from season 2. But before we get into that, we have a little game we like to play. It's called Bob Pun or Max Pun. It's Max's burger puns versus Bob's burger puns. It's Skylar trying to guess whose is whose. Sometimes...
Okay, take it down like five notches.
Okay. Sometimes she gets it right. Sometimes she doesn't. Skylar, are you ready for your first pun?
I am.
Your first pun is, the sun'll come out to marrow burger.
Marrow?
Mm-hmm.
Like bone marrow?
Yeah.
Bob.
Yes. Your next pun is, there's always mushroom at the top.
I get the pun, but I don't get the cultural reference.
There's always room at the top.
That's it?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
There's always room for more at the top, unless you live in America, apparently.
I don't even know that saying. I don't know. You?
Yes.
I don't want to eat that burger.
Your next one is, forgive me, Father, for I have potato skinned burger.
Max.
Yes. Your last one is...
Wait, does that come with like burgers and then like potato skins?
Yeah, or potato skin on the burger.
No.
Yeah, load it up. Loaded potato skin on a loaded burger.
I love it.
Sign me up for
it's
some of that.
It's like those places in Vegas that like have like heart attack burgers. Like they name it the heart attack. And that's like the point.
It's exactly what it is. I think this is one we should make at some point.
The loaded potato skin burger?
Yeah.
That's fine. But I just want to say, like, when did potato skins go to fashion? Like, in the 90s?
No, when you had to stop going to
Chili's?
Restaurants during the pandemic, pretty much.
I think, yeah. I
think they're still in fashion when you can go to bars.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bar food. Heavy bar food.
I love bar food.
Yeah,
I don't love bars that much.
Yeah. You should be able to get bar food without the bar atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like what about like fine dining but bar food? That'd be fun. Like what if you went to like a steakhouse but like the things at the menu were yeah.
Because it's so LA. It's like here's like chili fries but truffle and whatever.
Like elk,
yes,
baby elk meat.
That would be. I've never had elk. You guys, I'm from Texas, so I have had like venison and stuff like that. And we have a buffalo burger that we get.
It's delicious.
All right, I'm so hungry. Let's keep going.
All right, your last pun is the 500 glaze of summer burger.
Bob.
Yes. You got all of them this week. Yes. I'm going to step it up next week because I'm very upset about that.
Do you want me to give you tips on how you can do better?
Yes.
You need to develop a more sophisticated palate.
Yeah.
Like
we decided that last week. I need to start.
I know,
Okay.
like bone marrow.
Okay. I am. I'm telling you, I'm going to get a lot more exotic moving forward.
Okay.
You won't know the difference. Okay. Should we get into this episode?
Let's do it.
Skylar, can we have the title and synopsis, please?
Okay, so this one is written by the Bob's Burgers Wiki fan page. This week I got a little backed up in work. So the title is Burgerboss. Bob brings an old school video game into the restaurant, hoping to earn some more profits. He mistakenly challenges Jimmy Pesto to a game, and not only does he win, he writes the name on the leaderboard, Bob Sucks. With Bob humiliated, he seeks help from a video game enthusiast after making a promise.
There you go.
Do you remember what the promise is? He's gonna fight those kids.
He's gonna help him fight his bully.
Who's him? Tell us.
Well, this is the first episode where we meet Daryl, who becomes a recurring character.
One of my favorites.
Voiced by Aziz Ansari. Great voice.
So well.
Works great. So great for the character. I actually read for this episode, he got a special guest star credit.
Okay.
Which is only one of 3 actors on this show in its entirety have gotten that. And that's him, Kevin Kline, who does Mr. Fishoder.
Oh, great.
And Will Forte, who will be, I don't know if he's been in an episode yet, but we'll be he does voices here and there.
Yeah.
On the show.
And he's always fantastic.
Yeah. And then like moving forward from this episode, I think Aziz Ansari's, I'm sure it's like whatever the contract is, whatever they work out, is also starring. So this was special guest star and then also starring, I guess
because it became reoccurring.
Yeah.
Okay. So because I always wondered this when I was little and watching Gilmore Girls, because the grandfather, who's, definitely part of the cast, he was always like, what is it, guest starring? Is that what you said? Mm-hmm. So I always wanted to know that. So basically, it's if you're a household name, you're kind of a star, you get this special credit. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's something that's, I don't know if it has to do with pay or if it just has to do with ego. Something would tell me it's more about ego.
Probably both. Yeah. And then there's a difference in when it says like with so-and-so, but we won't get into that. If you want to get into that, go over to the Credit Score podcast.
Yeah, my podcast with my co-host Gary, we do Bob's Credits is a spin-off of Credit Score, where we go through all sorts of credits from movies and TV shows. And I think we discuss this every now and then, the with and the and. It pops up so much that we finally decided to go get into
that stuff.
And I don't really remember exactly what it was because I
like
learn things, it goes in my brain and then right out for the next thing.
I mean, I think it probably made room for something really important.
Yeah, it was probably something from this episode that I had to hang on to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get it out so you can make
Linda
more room.
was whistling the Gilligan's Island theme when she walks into the yacht club.
She was?
Yeah. I think she just says like something like 3-hour tour.
Okay, great. I'm so glad you know that.
Okay, so this episode went on the air April 1st, 2012, and it was written by Scott Jacobson and directed by Jennifer Coyle.
This is where you stare at me.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like,
every time I say
where do we go?
Written and directed by, I'm waiting for Skylar to come up with the next part of this podcast.
Which...
I know what the next part is. I've got a few fun facts for you about this one.
Okay, let's do it.
So this is the first time we ever see one of Bob's ears. You don't really see our... Yeah. Linda grabs his ear to pull him up from under the pool table. He's gotten carpal tunnel from playing the video game too much. He's on drugs that his doctor has prescribed.
He becomes addicted to this video game. He has to sneak the kids out of the house to the video game place.
Yeah, because he wants to remove the Bob Sucks
so badly. Yeah. Because the game gets transferred to this
Family Fun Time, an arcade which we'll go back to a few times, I think, over the course of the series. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a whole episode around it. They do a fish odor plot.
Right.
So basically, it's definitely an addiction narrative. He has lost all control of his life from this game.
So so he gets addicted to the game and then he gets addicted to painkillers. And towards the end, he starts seeing the game in real life on his painkillers. So he starts attacking things and eventually ends up at the yacht club. He's attacking things at the yacht club. So Linda has to come. She shows up. She's all excited. She thinks she's going sailing with her kids and her husband.
Romantic
who've been planning this surprise for her. She comes with
oh my God.
Oh, she sneezed and hit the mic. Violent sneeze. She shows up with earrings in the shape of
not steering wheels.
Like a ship's wheel.
A ship's
What's that
wheel.
called? It's called something, right? Ship's wheel of a ship. No, it's just a ship's wheel. Okay. I'm really glad I looked that up. I took the time to look that up.
I feel like it's still a steering wheel, like you steer a ship.
Yeah. She has a moment where she's fantasizing about like
the yacht
sailing with her, and she goes like, put up the missassoners. And Bob goes, what? She goes like, the missassoners.
Because that's what our fantasies are. We don't like magically have vocabulary.
Right. It's such a great moment.
Okay, so she pulls him out from under a pool table, and that's the first time we see
Bob's
his ear.
It's very prominent because she's yanking it.
And then there's one episode, I don't think we've gotten to it, but Linda has her hair behind her ears, and it's wild.
Isn't that? Oh, yeah. But she has her hair
hair's
up.
Right. Yeah, no, but she just has it like it's down but tucked behind her ears.
Okay.
I'll make a point to remember it, but it shook my world.
I think we should get you some of those ship earrings.
I'm not going to lie. I thought that when we were watching that today. I was like, could this be a Halloween costume? We watched The Americans, such a good TV show.
So good.
And Elizabeth has the best earrings.
Kerry Russell's character.
Yeah. And it's the 80s. Okay. So sometimes they're not the quietest earrings. She wore these like big silver hoops. And I was like,
no, they're in the shape of a heart. They're like,
but they were silver.
Hearts. Right. Yeah.
I was like, I gotta have them.
You paused it and we had to look it up that moment then and order a pair. And you got them.
J. Crew, guys.
Okay. A couple other facts for you before we actually get into these credits. Tina's birthday from Shish Kebab is referenced, which shows some continuity in the series.
I love
Not like
that.
these episodes just go by and nothing is referenced again.
Kind of wild because they're repeating the same grade. So it's almost like weird to acknowledge continuity.
Yeah, because time doesn't really move forward.
Seasons move, Christmas comes, but it's always the same year. It's like Groundhog Day.
It's the beauty of animated programming.
I love it.
Just stay the same age forever.
Yep.
And it's also the first episode to be nominated for an Emmy, an Outstanding Animated Program.
Okay.
So this is kind of when it got put on the map with critics and got some...
Big break.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't know about Big Break.
Okay.
It was already doing pretty well.
Well, I don't...
Look, it was... Their snooty Big Break, I'd call it, because now the critics are on board with it.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So should we get into these credits?
Yeah, but I want to tell you an anecdote.
Okay, tell me.
So Bob has to start, he gets carpal tunnel in his hands and he has to start wearing these braces on his arm. And the kids, of course, have like great jokes, but I think it's Gene. He's like, "Are you a falcon?"
No, it's so he asked if Bob can shoot webs out of it like Spider-Man.
Right.
And then Louise says, are we getting a falcon? Are we finally getting that falcon that she's been wanting apparently?
So we were watching this last night and she says that, and it's like I can't think of the perfect TV anecdote, but when like a character just has like this realization and we flash back in time to their childhood. That was me last night. So I was really into medieval times as a child.
Oh, I thought you were going to say falcons. And I was like, this is new information to me, and I'm about to fall even more in love with you than I already am. If you were just like, your childhood was just like falcons, and you've been keeping this for me.
I'm like Tina with her horses, but all falcons.
Yeah, your entire room is like posters of falcons, and like the falcon that has like the hood on its head because they don't...
What?
Like when the falcon is on a person's arm, it has a hood on its head because I think when its hood is off, it goes off and like flies off, but like it's kind of subdued. I don't know if that's actually why it wears the hood over its face.
I know so much about falcons.
Maybe my childhood was falcons and I haven't told you.
Okay, I'm a little loopy. I've just like not had a break this week yet, but I'm having fun.
Yeah, I like to like force Skylar to do these episodes after she's been working her ass off nonstop and gets no break, no
I'm
naps.
Having so much fun though.
She hasn't slept in 6 days.
I have. Max, okay, you're probably gonna cut this, but like I haven't like slept in like 3 days because the world is ending. It's serious. Like I'm working really hard on no sleep. And so Max puts on this show, The Boys, and it's the loudest TV show ever. And I'm trying to sleep and I'm like, it's too loud. And he's like, but I could watch that show when you're sleeping. And I'm like, okay.
I finally started a show that Skylar doesn't want to watch with me. So I'm watching The Boys on Prime, which by the way, I'm enjoying very much. And obviously it's about superheroes and there's a lot of action, but I have to watch it very quietly. So the dialogue is very quiet. So I have to turn it up when there's a dialogue scene, but action happens like so instantly that there's no time to prepare to like lower the volume, and it always makes it so loud, always wakes Skylar up.
And then I'm awake for the rest of the night, and he's like passed out. Anyway, back to the Falcon.
Yeah. Oh, please. We definitely need to go back to the Falcon.
So I loved medieval times, and my mom took me once. And have you been to medieval times? I think you have.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So there's the Falcon guy.
Does the Falcon have a hood?
I can't remember because I was preoccupied because he was obsessed with my mother. He was stalking us and hitting on her and offering free medieval time birthday parties for me.
Skylar, you could have had the Falcon guy as a stepfather. Are you kidding me?
I know. His greasy long hair.
Oh.
It was just like anywhere we tried to go, like before you go into the theater, he was there. And you know what? It ruined it. I didn't want to go back to medieval times and be stalked by this guy hitting on my mom with a falcon on his arm. It was just one too many things.
He's ruined everything. He ruined your love of falcons. From then on, it was no more falcons for you. That's sad.
Yeah. Okay. I just felt like you needed to know that about me.
I did.
That experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is big news that you were such a Falcon fan.
Okay.
Okay. One thing I want to mention again before we start the credits that I forgot to mention is that this is also, we have another new character who recurs, not as much as Daryl, but Yuli, the security guard, who is the security guard at Family Fun Time, we'll see a few times.
Oh, that's why the kids have to come. He's like, you are an adult. You have to have children here to enter.
Which is like, they do that at Chuck E. Cheese now. Like
they
you can't
do?
just be an adult. Well, I happen to know because I met some friends of mine this past holiday season from college who all have kids now. And they decided, we're all in town. Let's go to Chuck E. Cheese. I'm the one without kids. Yeah. I mean, I could have brought our pet Falcon, but that would have been weird. So I went and there's like this little gate and they're like checking, like, are you here with a kid? You can't come in alone. I'm like, I'm with them.
Oh my God. I can't believe you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
That's
because they
funny.
got to be really careful because, when I was a kid, by the way, Chuck E. Cheese in the 80s, anyone could just walk in and walk out with any kid and they just assume there was a parent.
It explains a lot about 80s kids.
Yeah. I'm surprised I never got abducted. Anyway, okay. That's all. By the way, he's voiced by Robert Smigel, who is a lot of people recognize the voice because he voices Triumph, the comic insult dog from like Conan, and had a bunch of comedy specials. But he also is a big like voice actor and writer. He wrote on SNL for a long time. Writes with Adam Sandler a lot.
Oh, that's cool. He's reoccurring.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into these credits. The last few moments before the credits, they're back in the store, in the restaurant, and Daryl has come to visit and just say that Bob has like motivated him to like not worry about his bully because he doesn't want to be fighting his bully when he's an adult like Bob, when he's a 60-year-old like Bob, who is not 60. And Bob says, yeah, and I've also learned that like it doesn't matter that the computer says Bob sucks. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then this happens.
Okay.
Hey, you're gonna knock Bob sucks off the leaderboard, right?
I'm on it.
Good.
Just change it to Fat Bob.
Dumb Bob works too.
Or hi, Bob. Okay, I gotta pause it just because we don't have just the simple generic sequence here.
No. Can we back up just
Go
a
ahead.
second?
Yeah.
Who voices Louise?
Kristen Shaw.
That did not sound like her to me.
Should we go back?
If you want. Every time I hear that.
Do you think they had, like, she had, like, finished recording and they just, let's see.
Sucks off the leaderboard, right?
I'm on it.
Good.
Just change it to Fat Bob.
Dumb Bob works too.
Or hi, Bob.
You are right. That
is-
does not sound
That
like her.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
It sounds like I 100% think you're right that that's not her.
Maybe they added this like tag.
Yeah. And they just couldn't get her to do it.
I think we discovered something that we can add to the Bob wiki page instead of just
True.
getting all
and
their
let's
information.
put that out there. Anyone who's a diehard Bob's fan out there, anyone who like might know this already, anyone who knows that maybe if occasionally they can't get a voice actor in to do something that they have to do before
Fill us
the
in.
show goes on the air, do they do that? Did they do this in this episode? Do the research. We're done doing research for this episode.
We're done.
We're tired. Although I
But-
might make Skylar not sleep for the next few days and figure this out for us.
But it's so common in TV shows. You can always tell when it's a voiceover. You know, they need, especially reality TV, they need to add some exposition. And so they'll do it when the character's head, you don't see their mouth, so you don't have to see it physically moving. So that happens all the time.
But it's always like a different volume than the last
And
thing they said.
tone,
Yeah. It
because
always,
I love pointing those out.
I know. Okay, so after that, we don't have the just normal kitchen sequence. We get this music that is like a 8-bit video game song version of the opening credits, so the theme song.
Yep.
So it's like a Burgerboss version of Bob's Burgers theme. And we got the generic kitchen sequence, but it's all in 8-bit, like a video game.
I don't know what 8-bit is, but that sounds real cool.
8-bit is like old school video game. That this
Okay.
like the Burgerboss is kind of like an 8-bit. Oh, by the way, I found online. I'll add this to our like Apple
You found
podcast
Burger
notes.
Boss?
A fan made like a fun little version of Burgerboss you can play. It's nothing super special, but I'll link
Oh
to
my
it
God, that's amazing.
in our notes.
This show has
and-
the best fans.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Amazing.
fun. So everyone is in 8-bit video game characters.
This is my childhood. This is what my childhood looked like.
The video games look like this.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
even feel like when you would like draw
Falcon video games.
No, I was at medieval times actually not playing video
There are
games.
no video games there.
No.
No,
It's like
it's
medieval
legit.
times.
It's legit.
Yeah.
They don't have silverware or video games.
I loved eating with my hands.
Oh, the food was so bad.
It was so bad. It was definitely like Campbell's vegetable soup just like poured into.
Yeah, and there's that joke from when they go there in the Cable Guy, Jim Carrey movie, where they go and she's like, "We don't have silverware because forks and knives weren't around in other times." And Matthew Broderick's here goes, "But they had Pepsi, huh?" Because he's like drinking Pepsi. Okay, so they're just doing all their stuff. Even Bob's doing a little butt scratching as
Love
an
it.
8-bit character. But what I like about it is when he flips the burger up in the air, you get that little like points noise, and it says 500 points above his head.
Yep.
So he
I
did
love that
he did
too.
something right. We're still waiting for 2 more family members to come into frame as 8-bit characters. Mm-hmm. Here comes Linda's giant glasses and head. And you also get a little noise, like a little like, did you hear that?
Was that an entrance noise?
Kind of, yeah. Or like leaving is like, let's see if we can hear it again here. So she gets the burger and you hear
Oh, is that a leaving noise or is it
Yeah.
a noise like a burger's been placed down?
either way.
or.
It's just like something has happened.
In the
that's-
video
yeah,
game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very common sound in like
She
these
is
old video games.
all hair and glasses in this 8-bit.
Yeah, it's just a giant head kind of bouncing into frame. I love that Bob still has his bald spot, and we're still waiting for Little Gene in his burger
Oh, you know
outfit.
what it is? These characters, we all see their backs, and that's much easier to be an 8-bit, but we see her whole entire face, which is clearly way harder to illustrate. So
Yeah.
that's why she looks so wonky.
Except for when Bob turns to the side.
to the side,
and
yeah.
his
His little
mustache-
bald
Yeah,
spot.
his
Oh
little
my
bald
god.
spot.
It's
And his
just
little his eye is just a little black square, and his mustache is just a few black squares connected in a line.
So if you're like me and you don't know what 8-bit is or video,
It's all
you're not,
squares,
It's
pretty
all squares. So
Yeah,
he
it's
has
pixelated.
one square that's skin colored on his head for his bald spot.
I love the music. We got another butt scratch there.
And Tina's tippy toes.
So then we get another burger flip, and it's like a multiple flip in the air. So you hear like ding, bling, bling, And then we get, what is it, 5,000
Yeah.
for that one?
5,000.
Yeah. As Gene walks into frame. Gene looks adorable.
Yeah. He's
Gene-
like shorter.
Yeah. He looks like my Funko Pop I have of him. That's behind
That
your
is
head right
exactly.
now. Because it doesn't look so much like Gene.
Smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in his little burger suit and he's making his way across the screen. Okay, so this was another episode where the music plays past the credits themselves into like the end production company cards and stuff.
And it's
that's
the
it.
exact music from the video game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Favorite part of these end credits? Least favorite part?
I because you think you get it. Oh, it's just in like 8-bit. I love that term now. I'm just gonna use it all the time.
Left and right. Just doesn't matter what it's for.
So I love when he flips the burger and it's like 500 points and it takes the concept up a notch for me. So I loved that.
It goes from 500, then we also get a 5,000 one with a double flip. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Although, you know what? I think I'm going to change my answer. His bald spot is just delightful to me. That one square.
It's just so simple, but it works so well. It's well done. These credits are very well done.
Yeah.
Which brings me to our new...
No, what's your high point?
I just love the 8-bit. Like,
Yeah.
I know that's like the whole thing, but I think they did such a good job making... It makes me want to play a Bob's Burger 8-bit game.
I'm sure you will get it because if quarantine has done anything, it's...
I don't know if there's a Bob's Burger game. If there is one in the works, I'm all over it.
Yeah.
I'd love to play it. I know there's a movie
then
in the
you would
works.
just-
Have we said that yet?
No, but
There's
hold
a
on.
movie. Okay, go ahead.
You get so excited about these video games and then you just abandon them.
It's true. I do tire of video games pretty
like
quickly.
he was all about Animal Crossing. We
that
were
one
like
gets
planning
boring
his
after you've
island.
done a certain amount on there.
Okay, so there's a movie.
There's a Bob's Burger movie in the mix. Oh, Biscuit just gave a little stretch. So the movie was supposed to come out around right now, but because of the pandemic, they bumped it. So I think it's spring of next year. The movie's going to come out in
Something to
theaters.
look forward to.
Yeah, and rumor has it that they're supposed to reveal kind of like the origin of why Louise wears the bunny ears.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love the episode when that bully takes him from her.
Yeah, I think we're coming up to that
it
one
was
soon.
really sweet because she's such a tough character.
I think that's the first episode of season 1 because that one's Earsy Rider.
Oh, so we've already done it?
No, season 3. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, did I say season 1?
I think so, yes.
I mean season 3.
Okay, next
so that brings us to the
segment.
next segment that we just started last episode, and that is these end credits better than the episode itself?
No.
I'm going to say no too.
Great compliment.
But yeah, paired perfectly. Like I really enjoyed the episode. I loved Daryl being introduced. I think he's such a fun character moving forward. And the end credits were fantastic to me.
So I'm going to bring back my segment because I feel like it's getting no love. Did Jocelyn make you giggle?
Oh, there was no Jocelyn in this
No
episode.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn is going to become a whole lot more recurring. I think starting season 3 or 4. Like she's in almost
We'll
every
see.
other episode, it feels like, at some point.
Love her.
Yeah, she becomes like part of the gang, the kid gang.
Yep. So
So,
this
no
segment is
Jocelyn in
going to
there.
be really boring until it starts paying off.
Yeah,
I can't wait to
I
share
can't wait
some
to.
Jocelyn lines.
I'm going to play so many Jocelyn clips if I can.
His arm looks like a burrito.
His arm looks like a burrito. The best Jocelyn line. Okay, so let's score these on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's of.
I'm going to give it... Did I need to let you finish?
No.
6.
6?
Sorry, 6.5.
Wow. Okay.
Lower than you thought?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to give it a 9 because I think it's perfect for this episode. I like the music. I like the 8-bit version of the theme. I like that everything is as it normally is, except it has to do exactly with the big part of the episode. I really think that's
I'll
cool.
move it to
and
7.
I really appreciate the job they did 8-bitting
Yeah.
the animation.
And I think it probably scores a little higher. I feel like the nostalgia for you is like high.
Yeah, this was my era.
Yeah.
Like if it was like falcons flying through the kitchen, you'd be like 10, 10, 10. So that's it.
Okay, that's it.
Those are the end credits to Burgerboss.
Yep.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. As always, please, if you've enjoyed this episode, leave us some reviews. It helps us out. It means the world.
Leave a review and maybe some sleep tips for me because...
Leave them in the review.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll appreciate that a lot. You know what? Skylar might not be getting enough sleep because we're not getting enough reviews. So if you can just help Skylar sleep, that would help us out a lot. Also, follow us on all of the social medias everywhere. Bob's Credits, wherever you need to find us.
Yep. I think after this episode goes live, we should post some stills from this to show the 8-bit and like the bald spot. So keep an eye out there on our Instagram.
Yeah.
Bob's Credits.
Yeah, we'll do that when this is up. Mm-hmm. And I'll also post that link so you can play the game yourself.
Fun.
And we have a Patreon. We have a low tier, not super pricey. We just ask for support. If you want to support us, you don't have to. We love doing these anyway, but it does help us out a little bit. And we've got some ideas, plans. Again, we're testing out to see if enough people are interested for us to have higher tiers with some fun things we'll offer for the higher tiers if enough people are interested.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it. Anything else we need to cover before we take off here?
I don't think so.
Is there anything else you want to say to everyone before we take off here? Anything in particular? Anything that's like the complete opposite of Chip Chipperoo?
You know, this is a tough season. Take care of yourself, rest, and stay saucy.
Stay burger bossy.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.